Yeah, just stop right here so we can. Now this is the end of the 1,000-acre plantation. It ends right on the other side of those. And this is Clarissa's home site, Robert James Brownfield's wife. That she had 12 children, and 9 of them were his. But he helped her raise her children just like his own. And 7, was it 7, went to Benedict College. Do I have that right? Either 9 or 7 of them. It's in my, wherever my notes and things are. But went to Benedict College in Columbia, South Carolina.
And there was conversation about, in an email between your mom and Evelyn Guy, trying to figure out who this picture of this woman was, and it was talking about Mary Brownfield and how her father wanted to educate her, but her mother wouldn't permit her to be educated because he wanted to, like with all of Arthur Reed's family, wanted to send them to college and get them educated, but Priscilla Taylor refused to allow Mary to be educated.
Wow. Now we got to figure that out.
What was the reason? Yeah. What could be the reason for that? I don't know. Like I said, I don't know.
She might have thought she was going to lose her daughter. That's probably.
And then it's not definitive. Like we know with Clarissa that was a loving relationship because she had so many children for him. But with Priscilla, we don't know the circumstances of Mary's birth and how that came to be.
And it could have been rape.
It could have been, and maybe that was her refusal, that she didn't want any connection, although she did give her his name. Whereas Clarissa gave all of her children the name Howard.
Which
she
came from?
She had married a man, Jeff Howard, when, are you recording?
Yes.
Oh, well, Robert Brownfield, you can correct me, Robert Brownfield and Clarissa had how many children? 2 children. He got called away to the Civil War, and while he was gone, her family said, you need to marry someone of your own kind. And she married a black man named Jeff Howard.
Okay.
And she had 3 children with him while Robert was away. When he came back, he was like, that's my wife. That's my woman. You can't have her. So he went and got all of her 5 children, brought them back to this area.
Right here.
And proceeded to have more children with her.
7.
And so it wasn't this road, it's another road that the Taylors lived on.
Well,
the backside of this. Yeah.
But guess what I found out since then? His Robert James Brownfield's grandmother, Susanna Mann Harriet, in her will, she gave a slave boy whose name was Jeff to Robert. You know, they would always pair them up with a slave person that was supposed to look out for them and be their companion. And now I'm wondering if that Jeff was his friend that he grew up with all those years that ended up, you know, but there's no way of telling that, but just the fact that his name was Jeff. And the other one is Jeff
Howard.
Yeah.
Okay, so Clarissa gave all of her children that she had with Brownfield Howard's name.
Even the ones that she had before she had children with Howard.
Yeah.
She went back and gave them the name Howard, whereas Priscilla Taylor had Mary and gave her the name Mary Brownfield. Although she was Priscilla Taylor, she named her daughter Mary Brownfield. And then, like I said, I found where she had children by somebody named Jones and Moore. And there were 2 for each of those men, and there were 2 Jones children, 2 Moore children, and then there was Farish, who she gave the name Brownfield to. And there was a 10-year gap between Mary and Farish. And Daddy said he remembers Farish because they called him Sonny.
Really?
Sonny Brownfield, yeah.
Y'all have any pictures of him?
No,
So-
Unless Albert made in an old album my dad had or something, you know.
You
So
guys gotta find that old album.
Priscilla only had 2 kids named Brownfield.
Yeah.
That was supposedly Brownfield, real
Not
Brownfield.
supposedly. We know at least Mary
Woman
was
was.
because we got
Okay.
DNA proof.
Yeah.
But Farish might have been the other one.
Farish, we don't know.
But he had Brownfield's name.
Right.
Okay.
So my assumption would be that he really was a Brownfield because she gave all of her children their father's name.
Wow. Well, that was a big slap in the
But
face.
when they lived on the plantation, this is a brick house that's here now, but there was a big like clapboard house that she and RJ lived in at first. And what was I going to say about that? See, I lost my train of thought.
Okay, so this is where Clarissa lived.
Yes.
Okay.
So
But-
where did Priscilla live?
Well, that's what I was about to
Okay.
say. They were 9 houses over, and that could have been anywhere because they would put the houses like in rows along either the back side of the fields or the front side. So that the houses here were on the back side because the little slave cabin that I was born in was further back up in the field.
And that's
And-
gone?
Huh?
Is it gone?
The cabin is gone,
Okay.
yes, but I'll show you where it was. Okay, so we ready to?
So-
go?
Clarissa lived probably where this house is over here.
Not probably. That's where she
Oh,
lived.
that was it.
Yeah,
Okay.
that was the house.
That was the house.
Right across, like I said, right across from where I grew up. Even though I was born on that side on the plantation,
Mm-hmm.
but when I was 2, by the time I was 2, my mother had bought this piece of property, and we had moved here.
Okay. Now, there's something too. Wasn't your father's family from this area?
Yeah, you want to turn left
Okay.
and show them that.
Wait, so Clarissa lived there.
Right here.
Yeah,
Mhm.
there. And then Priscilla lived 9 houses down.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. We counted them on the census. That was what, the 1870 census or 1880?
18.
What was your mother's name, R3?
My mother's name is Natalie. They called her Natty, but she was Natalie Brasilia, named for her great-grandmother. Like, my middle name is Brasilia also. And Robert James, that lived right there with Clarissa, was just diagonally across from my great-grandfather on my daddy's side, who was also a white man. Yeah, go on down to the next driveway right here. Watch that little hump going up in there.
This one right here.
And they were very close because on all of the legal documents that Robert James Brownfield did, either the Allen man was a witness or any of the documents that the Allen man did, Robert James Brownfield, go on around.
So this was your father's family?
This is my daddy's last brother lived right there, and these are all his going up here.
Oh, okay.
His children.
And they still live here? They still live here?
Yeah, one of his daughters lives in the house, and the son that lived in that trailer right there just moved out not so long ago. And see, my uncle, when he was living, he used this as a graveyard for trailers.
He must have raised
Okay, this. See all these old trailers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, one there,
And now
one there.
in this thicket is, stop right here, is the Allen family cemetery. The white man, so they can see the house. I have a cousin. Yeah, he lives here, but behind that is the remnants of the Allen grandfather's home. And that's probably on my Facebook page, I think. If not, I'll send it. Gosh, I didn't realize that it had grown up that thick. But with all the rain, can you see